There are only 50 men in the history of football who've ever held it. 50! In nearly 100 years of World Cups across billions of players, coaches, fans, and legends, 50 human beings have actually felt its weight in their hands. And here's the thing that gets me. You've seen it 1,000 times. On TV screens, on billboards, in celebration photos that circle the globe. That golden shape is probably the most recognized object in sports, maybe in the world. But there's a version of this trophy sitting somewhere right now. Stolen, recast, buried, faked, touched by exactly the wrong people. And most fans have absolutely no idea. There's a dog that found it. A fan-made replica that fooled the entire planet. A hollow core that would surprise almost anyone. And a countdown clock sitting right there in the base that FIFA hasn't told you about. 7 things about the World Cup trophy. Some of them will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the most iconic object in sports. Let's start. Welcome to FootyLeo. I'm Leo, and this is where football stops being just a game and starts being a story worth knowing. Now back to that trophy. The one lifting above Messi's head in Qatar. The one Mbappe has been chasing his entire career. The one every captain on earth dreams about. That trophy isn't the original. Most people don't know that, and the story of what happened to the first one is genuinely hard to believe. The original World Cup trophy was called the Jules Rimet Cup, named after the FIFA president who pushed the tournament into existence. It was silver-plated in gold, about 35 centimeters tall, and it depicted Nike, the Greek goddess of victory. She was holding a cup above her head. The trophy was handed out starting from the very first World Cup in 1930 in Uruguay. There was one rule built into it, almost like a dare. The first country to win 3 World Cups would keep the trophy. Permanently. That country was Brazil. After their legendary 1970 team, Pelé, Jairzinho, Tostão, lifted the trophy in Mexico, it went to Rio de Janeiro for good. The most beautiful team ever assembled had earned the right to keep football's greatest prize. And then, 13 years later, someone just took it. 1983, Rio de Janeiro. A group of thieves broke into the headquarters of the Brazilian Football Confederation and walked out with the Jules Rimet Cup from a locked display case. No alarm stopped them. No guard caught them. The investigation went nowhere. The best theory investigators had, and it's a brutal one, is that the thieves melted it down and sold the gold. The trophy that Pelé lifted above his head in 1970. The trophy that traveled through 4 decades of football history. Gone. Literally dissolved. But here's what makes this story even stranger. It had already been stolen once before. Go back to 1966. England is hosting the World Cup, and the Jules Rimet Cup is on public display in London, under what the organizers called strict security measures. A thief walked in and walked out with it. Scotland Yard launched a massive operation. Hundreds of detectives. Days of searching? Nothing. The host nation of the World Cup had lost the World Cup trophy. The embarrassment was total. Then, 7 days later, a man named David Corbett was walking his dog through a residential area in South London. The dog, a black and white mixed breed named Pickles, stopped beside a bush. Pickles started sniffing at a package wrapped in newspaper. Corbett unwrapped it. Jules Rimet. Right there, under a bush. A dog found in 7 days what hundreds of detectives couldn't find in 10. Pickles received a national hero's welcome. He got a medal, and the trophy made it to the World Cup on time. After the Jules Rimet was stolen for good, FIFA had a problem. They needed a new trophy, something permanent. Something that couldn't be won and kept like the old one. Something that felt like the summit of world football every time a captain raised it. So they held an international competition. 53 proposals came in from 25 different countries. Sculptors, designers, artists, everyone wanted to build the most famous object in sports. The winner was an Italian sculptor named Silvio Gazzaniga. His design, 2 stylized human figures holding up the globe, was chosen unanimously. Gazzaniga said the concept was simple. football belongs to the world. And the world looks a lot like a ball.
The trophy has been handed out since 1974. It stands 36.8 centimeters tall. It weighs 6.17 kilograms, and it contains nearly 5 kilograms of solid 18-karat gold. At the base, 2 rings of green malachite, a semi-precious stone, give it that unmistakable dark band. The material value alone sits somewhere between $250,000 and $350,000. But here's where it gets interesting.
That trophy, the one that looks like a single solid piece of gold, is hollow. Not partially, not just at the edges. The inside is empty. And the reason is completely logical once you hear it. If the trophy were fully solid gold throughout its entire structure, it would weigh over 70 kilograms. No captain could lift it.
Think about that image for a second. The final whistle, the confetti, the captain on his knees, tears running down his face, surrounded by teammates who've spent 4 years building toward this one moment. And then he has to lift it above his head, arms fully extended, in front of 60,000 people and 1 billion watching at home. That moment only works because of an engineering decision made in the 1970s. The trophy had to be heavy enough to feel like something real, something earned, but light enough for a human being to raise above his head. 6 kilograms. That's the balance Gazzaniga found.
Now here's a rule that almost nobody knows. The authentic trophy, the real one, the gold one, can only be touched by 2 types of people: world champions and heads of state. That's it. Not journalists, not legends of the game, not even players who spent their entire careers chasing it but never won. If you never lifted it as a champion, you don't get to touch it. When the trophy goes on its global tours, it travels under bulletproof glass, handled only by staff wearing white gloves. Fans line up for hours just to stand near it. No one gets closer than the case. And there's another detail that surprises people. The captain lifts the real trophy once, in the stadium in that exact moment of glory. Then FIFA takes it back. What the winning team actually keeps is a gold-plated replica, until the next World Cup. The original lives in FIFA's museum in Zurich, permanently. Qatar, December 18th, 2022. Argentina wins the World Cup final on penalties. The stadium erupts, and Lionel Messi, the man who spent 35 years waiting for this, lifts the trophy above his head.
The photo goes on Instagram. Within days, it becomes the most liked post in the history of the platform. Hundreds of millions of people see it. It circles the globe like nothing sports had ever produced before. There's just one problem. That wasn't the real trophy. During the on-field celebrations, the players were passing around a replica, not an official FIFA replica, a fan-made copy, built and carried to Qatar by an Argentine couple who had commissioned an identical version. Same size, same weight, just in case their team won. And in the chaos of the celebration, that fan trophy got mixed into the real one. Players grabbed whichever one was closest, passed it without checking, lifted it without knowing. Some of the most viral images from that night, the ones that will live in football history forever, were shot with a copy made by supporters. The real trophy was right there on the field. It just wasn't always the one in the frame. And now, the last thing, the one that reframes everything. That trophy has an expiration date. It's not a rumor. It's not speculation. It's physically engraved in the base, the part you never see when the trophy's standing upright. The names of every world champion since 1974 are carved there, in each country's own language. Germany as Deutschland, Argentina in Spanish, Japan in Japanese. And the space runs out in 2038. If you've made it this far into the video with me, I want to take 1 second to invite you to subscribe to FootyLeo. We're here every day with stories like this one, the kind of football content that makes you see the game differently. Hit subscribe and come find us tomorrow. And honestly, drop a comment before you leave. Which one of these caught you the most? The dog that found the trophy? The fan replica in Messi's hands? I read every single one. Now, back to that expiration date.
17 slots. That's how many names fit in the base of the current trophy. And by the end of the 2038 World Cup, every single one will be filled.
After that, there's no room. Physically, literally no room to engrave another champion without modifying or replacing the base entirely. Some fans call it the curse of 2038, which sounds dramatic, but look at the math and it doesn't feel like much of an exaggeration. FIFA hasn't said a word about what happens next. No announcement, no plan made public. Do they redesign the base? Do they commission an entirely new trophy like they did once before after the jewels were May disappeared? Nobody knows. What we do know is this. The most coveted object in sports, stolen twice, found by a dog, melted down for gold, hollow inside, untouchable by almost everyone alive, replicated by Argentine fans in Qatar, has a clock ticking quietly in its base.
And right now, at the 2026 World Cup, somewhere in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, another name is getting ready to be added to that list. Here's what stays with me. We spend so much time watching football. The goals, the saves, the last-minute collapses, the dynasties built and broken. We think we know the game. But this object, 6 kilograms of gold sitting in a museum in Zurich right now, carries a history that most fans have never heard. It was stolen. Twice. Once by a thief, once by time itself.
It was found by a dog when professional investigators came up empty. It was melted down, dissolved. The trophy that Pelé touched no longer exists in any physical form on this planet. The one that replaced it is hollow inside. The engineers had to make room for the human moment. The lift, the tears, the arms above the head. It can only be touched by the people who've earned the right to hold it. And even they have to give it back. The most famous photo ever taken of it was taken of a copy. And somewhere in its base, hidden underneath, a clock is running. 2038. After that, something will have to change. Football always asks the same question. Who are you when everything is on the line? The trophy holds all the answers. 50 names, 50 moments, 50 times someone found out. If this video gave you something, share it with 3 people who love football. Subscribe to FootyLeo so you never miss a story like this one. And leave us a comment. Tell us which curiosity hit different. And tell us what should we cover next. We'll see you tomorrow.